Today we are taking a look at every Mandela effect there is in SpongeBob, or more or less the ones I could find online. Now many of you may ask themselves, what is the Mandela effect? The Mandela effect is a term used to describe a phenomenon where many people remember something in a particular way, but it turns out just to be completely different. And trust me guys, there is a lot to cover in this series. Before the video starts, I want to say thank you to all the comments you guys gave me on the latest video. I will be looking forward to cover all of them. If you haven't watched that, the link is in the description. Enjoy the video. In the episode Your Shoes Untied, Patrick comes into SpongeBob's house with a brand new pair of shoes. Then he confesses to SpongeBob that he actually doesn't know how to tie his shoes. SpongeBob tries to teach Patrick how to tie his laces again and again, but fails in every attempt. He avoids confessing to Patrick that he actually forgot how to tie his shoes. That's why he's trying to hide it and asks other people for advice. In the end, he crawls back to his home in the belief that his shoes will never be tied again. But surprisingly, his pet Gary can help him and the episode finds a happy end. Now, what is the weird thing about this episode? Now, perhaps the fact that SpongeBob never had shoelaces in the first place. A Reddit user brought this up and made a huge controversy about this topic. But in reality, SpongeBob never had shoelaces in the first place. I personally haven't paid that much attention on SpongeBob's shoes, but after reading about this, it sure made sense. What do you guys think? Now, we've already made a short about this video, so I will give you a quick summary. In this episode, Patrick tells SpongeBob that he has a secret box. As we all know, SpongeBob is very curious, so he wants to desperately look inside Patrick's secret box. But Patrick says it's a secret and he can't tell him. This drives SpongeBob crazy, so he decides to break into Patrick's house. In the end of the episode, SpongeBob gets the opportunity to look inside the box, only to find out that it's completely empty. Well, except for a string. After SpongeBob leaves, Patrick pulls the string and shows us that he has a picture of SpongeBob from the last Christmas party. Now many people say they remember seeing the picture at the end of the episode. Even me myself included. I remember seeing that picture at the end of the episode, like SpongeBob in a funny Christmas hat or something. There's even a lot of fan theories and fan art who try to display this picture in their own way. Some even go that far to say that he has a picture of SpongeBob with ripped pants. But that's a whole theory on its own. A very interesting point in my opinion, so I had to cover it up. Chocolate with Nuts is an episode where SpongeBob and Patrick find a magazine about rich people. Then Squidward steps into the scene and tells SpongeBob that these people are entrepreneurs. They sell products to the citizens of Bikini Bottom. Quickly afterwards, SpongeBob and Patrick decide to become entrepreneurs themselves. And what business model fits our yellow friend the most? Selling food, or to be particular, selling chocolate in this case. Now the first customer our two friends have gets really crazy when he hears the word chocolate. And during the whole episode, he starts chasing SpongeBob and Patrick after they take a run. Now this is where a Mandela effect comes into place. Many people remember SpongeBob and Patrick dressing up in costumes, so the crazy chocolate fish doesn't find them. Although they did have a lot of different customers in that episode, I myself don't really remember them wearing a costume. But there's a second thing about this episode which actually made me think. Remember the two ladies SpongeBob and Patrick took on a date? In the scene before, they were trying to sell chocolate to them. After lying to them that the chocolate makes them live forever, they commit and buy one. Now, I remember them saying, "I'll take 20. But in the original, they only say, "I'll take 1. I quickly found out that I was not the only one who was remembering that. What do you guys think? Do you remember them saying it was 20 or it was 1?
Did you know that this scene never happened in Five Nights at Freddy's and it's just in our imagination in their heads and we should sue the therapist or something?
The next confusion comes up in the episode Oof. This episode drives us back to Bikini Bottom from 2000 years ago. Here we can see our three friends exploring the environment and searching for food. The episode mainly revolves around them finding the fire and searching stuff to eat. Now there was a controversy on Reddit about this because many people remember our friends catching jellyfish in this episode. And I personally understand how this confusion came up. In the episode SP129, Squidward gets teleported into Primal Bikini Bottom. Out of nowhere, he pretty much invents jellyfishing, so SpongeBob and Patrick automatically start doing so. But because the characters and the environment seem so similar, I can totally understand why people seem to confuse this. There is another occurrence in the first SpongeBob movie, and yes, I mean this one.
Who are you?
I'm David Hasselhoff.
Hooray!
What pretty much happens in the movie is that Plankton takes control over the citizens of Bikini Bottom. Everything seems pretty hopeless until SpongeBob shows up, and at the end of the movie he turns into a wizard or guitar player, I can't really tell. Anyways, he starts playing his guitar, and this is where our Mandela effect comes into place. Now, as you can see, this is clearly a peanut-shaped guitar. Now, I found a post from 2019 where people were fighting about it, whether this is a peanut-shaped guitar or a purple V-shaped guitar. I watched the movie myself, but I never really paid that much attention on this guitar. But if you would have asked me, I would actually say it's a V-shaped purple guitar. I don't know, it just fits the memory in my head pretty well. But we do see a purple V-shaped guitar in another episode, where actually Sandy is playing the guitar. We've had a lot of cases today, a lot of controversy and fighting, but in the end, most of the things can be explained. Thank you guys so much for staying till the end. Like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to the channel for more.